We've honestly like gone through this like probably like 3 or 4 times. So like, please pardon us on this.
Final round.
This is the final round though. This is Erich Fromm, the class for the Miami Valley School, taught by Squires. This is round 2 of what we're doing. What me and Sud did with Global Realities. We're gonna come in and give our perspective on what we actually were reading and what we think about, particularly what Fromm was saying in his different passages that we had to read. What really caught my attention is the whole concept of self-interest, selfishness, and self-love. And for me, I've always been told, Michael, you're too selfish. You need to think about other people. I think my sister told me it like 2 days ago. For me, everything I've ever done is based on my own self-interest. If I'm going to hurt someone, it's based on, me not understanding what's going on with that person, and it's usually not intentional. When I try to help someone, it's not out of, oh, well, I don't care about my own self-interest. It's because I see, okay, I help this person. Maybe they'll help me out in return in the future. Being a nice person, usually, you get what you give what you receive.
Definitely, and I think people have honestly capitalized on this idea of selflessness and selfishness. As Erich Fromm says, not to be selfish implies not to do what one wishes. To give up one's own wishes for the sake of those in authority. To me, that sounds like selfishness is a ploy of irrational authority. So basically, we're going to stop doing what we want so we can do what they want. So basically, they're using self-interest to their advantage, and they're using our the taboo on the word selfishness to take advantage of us.
It's mental slavery. It's exactly what it is.
And we're putting ourselves into it.
I don't think the typical mother or dad, when they're saying, hey, don't be selfish, I don't think they're telling you, oh, don't go pursue your dreams, because, they'll say the next moment, okay, go out, do whatever you want, go pursue your dreams, do what you can with your life. I don't think that's the case. I think what it is that the word has this connotation. There's this social connotation that if you are selfish, it's automatically a bad thing. And what Fromm's saying is you can't function in your life. You can't have that sense of self-worth. You can't be fulfilled if you don't believe in yourself. And that belief in yourself comes from, going out and testing something, saying, okay, well, I want to get 100% on this math test. So it's in my self-interest to study as much as I can, right? And that's my selfish interest. That's for myself. I want to do well because I have a dream of getting 100 on that test, and then you could see where it goes beyond that, getting into a good college or whatever. But, like Sud was saying, it's that the irrational authority, they use it for, you can look throughout history. You can look at, the Christian kings, or you can say the Pope, and, the different interests that he had with that. Sud also he brought up the fact that, in the pursuit of happiness in the Constitution, which radically changed that whole idea. If you want to talk about that.
Definitely. Just as Michael was saying, just as we as people use self-interest to become who we are and achieve our goals, the world itself has been run by people that are interested in helping themselves. Look at the forefathers. They started the United States so that they could serve out their own interests. And because of that, we fostered a nation that has been honoring democracy and individual rights and the pursuit of happiness for years and years. Now, try to tell me that that's an example of, people being selfish and it being a bad thing. Of course not.
Oh, it's Adam Smith 100%. It's like what Adam Smith was saying in what was the name of that? A Wealth of Nations. That's the name of the book. The idea of the invisible hand is that every single person's self-interest, if you think about it, right, it has to be rational self-interest. I'm not going to just, pull out a gun because at any whim I just want to shoot Sud, right? Because I realize that, okay, there's implications for everything that you do. There's a rationality behind it. There's a scientific method behind the thought process of what you actually should do. And with Adam Smith, what he says, the invisible hand, the idea that every single person's self-interest will drive the entire society forward. And I think that is what Erich Fromm, it goes along the lines of what he was saying, is that the individual can drive the rest of society if every individual sees what their reactions and their consequences of their actions, give.
Exactly. Looking at, Michael's example earlier, if you were to pull out a gun and shoot me, you'd think with the internet and the news today that would get around pretty quickly. I don't think that most people would be hanging out with Michael tomorrow, and he'd definitely suffer. He'd probably be in jail, He might even be dead. I don't... people clearly suffer, if their self-interest is to the effect that it's harming others. So definitely there are these checks and balances. And on top of that, the whole idea of what our forefathers said with the pursuit of happiness, if we don't chase after what we want, we're not going to be happy.
100%. And that's why I think it was very important. And when they declared that, they didn't say you have a right to happiness. You have the right to the pursuit. And that understanding of that right for the pursuit, the desire, the self-interest, to go out and pursue your dreams, I think that's the most important thing that this country has recognized, is that you should be able, if you have the dream, to go out and do it. Not for everybody else, but for your own ambition, your own self-interest, and your own fulfillment and your own self-love.
And if you're going out there, and making yourself happy, you don't think that that's going to put everybody in a better mood and make them want to chase their own goals and make them happy?
Exactly. I mean, everyone's experienced it. You go around someone who loves their life, you're going